Okay guys, so just about to clock off for today. Basically I got this all covered and I got really kind of scraping at all of the underbody of the car to break loose any kind of extra mud and all that kind of stuff. In hindsight, the ideal thing to do would have been to, if we could find a lift, one of the lifts that the guys have outside, and you would just go to town with a power washer for probably a couple of hours, to be honest, with the power washer, but that might have been the way to go. So it's all lowered now, it's all low now, so I can't really go climbing in underneath it. Got everything masked off, the whole car is fully masked off around. I'm leaving, like, let's say laps like this because I actually want good penetration and everything like that of the rust remedy, and then also the paint to actually meet up with it. Got the bracket made. I'll show you how I did that, but I basically got the bracket made up like you can see there. The welds are pretty ugly on it, but again, it's fine. These holes all kind of marked out and line up and everything like that. And there's the other one. Hold on. There's the other one. So I'll show you how I got them done. So basically that is a 2mm plate bracket, 1mm plate, 1mm sheet overlap made for it. So now they're sandwiched together, to account for the weakening of kind of cutting that mount. So I will have to make up a plate to sit inside here with the two bolts welded to it, and basically I'll make it narrow enough that it slots in nice and handy, and then when you go to tighten it, you actually can't go outside, if you know what I mean. And once you tighten both at the same time, it'll be, or kind of have both threaded. When you go to actually tighten them up, they won't even shim, won't even move that much. So yeah, I got it all kind of thing, and just to add salt to the wound, this car did a lovely one on me and actually showed me, can you see that there, a little hole? And that is where the wiring loom is sitting. It's obviously holding moisture, and it's created that hole the whole way through. So that's nice of it, isn't it? Just at the very last minute when I have everything else done, it just doesn't let you away with that. Like, you don't get away too easy with these, I can tell you. So I will, I think, just mask off just here to here, just to stop kind of spraying the radiators and that with it. But I am going to just kind of do it indiscriminately underneath the car. So I will just go for it. I'll avoid, obviously, as much as possible the likes of the transmission and the engine, but I'm not going to fully avoid it. So I will spray into the cavities there, and let it get covered in paint. I don't really mind that. It's lesser of two evils. I will also have to just let the prop shaft get painted as well. I could drop the prop shaft, but I'm not going to bother, because the type of paint I'm using is good for that kind of stuff. You can actually paint a whole engine with it, so that's fine. Maybe when I get onto the rubberized stuff, the Gravitex, I might take off prop shaft for that, or I might tape it up. It might not take that long just to kind of band it up. I'll see about that. But anyway, that is that side of it. The Gravitex, I can't actually order it until the 27th, I believe. They're doing a revision in the UK on their lockdown, and my supplier for the Gravitex is over in the UK. So at that point, I'll be able to hopefully order the Gravitex then, but may well not be able to. So tomorrow I'm going to spray this with the Bardol rust remedy, the entire car. I'm even going over the areas where there is no metal exposed, just on the off chance that there is. If I go off heavy enough, it might soak in and it might just react to whatever's below that. Just on the off chance I miss something, basically. So that's that side of it. Again, I have to make that plate as well for the captive nuts. And I got the suspension done. The rear subframe. So the rear subframe I made up, I had presumed it was going to be 1.5 mil plate, but it's actually 2 mil plate that this is made out of. I don't have any 2 mil plate, so what I did was I made a 3 mil plate support, let's say, that goes around it. So my first one I made, spent ages making it, was this one here, which has the jaunty angles coming out either side here and everything like that, which correlate to the shape of these brackets. So let me see if I can do this one-handed. I can't, but you get the idea. That could fit over that, but I didn't want to lose, obviously, so it is a pressure fit. But then, obviously, being 1 mil and this being a 2 mil to start off with, that wasn't going to do, so I had to make it again out of 3 mil. 3 mil is very difficult to work with, so it's not as neat a job, but it is still a good fit and everything like that. And how I did that, because it was 3 mil, there was a positive to that, was that I was now able to stick weld it just about. So again, 2 mil and 2 mil plate is a little bit kind of thin for welding with stick arc. What I'm using is 6013s and they're 3.5 millimeters. If it wasn't lockdown, I could have went and got a narrower one, like maybe a 1.5 mil metal core, if you know what I mean, for the 6013s. And at that stage, I would have been able to put up in got a better kind of flow. So what I was getting a lot of stopping and starting because I had those 6013 sticks. This is for people who are into stick welding. I had those 6013s operating at 36 amps, where they want to be at 90. So I was getting a lot of stopping and starting. So they're not very pretty welds underneath there, but I was getting a good flow into it. So to do that, I had 3 sticks, maybe 4 sticks into it. So it's a good amount of weld went into it, and it got a good flow and it was getting good heat. It just was not ideal, and it wasn't making for a very pretty job. So sorry, that was a bit of an onslaught on the stick welding side of it. We're getting good progress. This car is kind of fed up working on the underneath of it, to be honest, but I'm hoping that it will stand to it in the long run. I have a feeling like I'm going to go to the NCT, which is Ireland's MOT, and I'm going to pass, let's say, the first year. The 2 years later, I'm going to go in and I'm going to find some more rust somehow. Just somehow, I just feel like these Mercedes are just always got rust issues. It doesn't make a difference how much work you put into it. But I'm hoping all of this, my multiple layers, my rust remedy followed by the epoxy mastic, how many different coats of that, my seam sealer before that, my zinc primer. I'm hoping that all of that, plus then the Gravitex, and I might put 9 litres of Gravitex underneath this car. So I'm hoping maybe 9, maybe 6. I don't know how much I'm going to need. I'm going to order the 9, I think. So you know what I mean. Like, I'm hoping that quantity is enough to see me 10 years down the line or 5 years down the line without any rust. 5 years I'd be maybe a little bit irritated. 10 years I'd be very happy. So, but look at a classic Merc. If we can get 10 years out of a classic Merc without any rust, we'd be all bloody doing this, wouldn't we? Anyway, appreciate you watching. I will check in tomorrow, hopefully, maybe the next day before there's any kind of real change to be show people. But anyway, appreciate you watching. Cheers. Bye.